this kind of lineup can really fall apart very, very quickly. Legion is a good catch-up kind of silent on the Legion between Zeus and Ancient Apparition. Then you have a Brew who can roam around either by himself or even just with a Rubik pick, for example, and pressure places and know that you're going to get help no matter where those other two heroes are on the map. They can dictate the pace of the game and basically just force Team Tinker to play so defensively that the Ember Spirit won't have room to operate. The Storm Spirit won't be getting the most out of his innate kit, which is basically range, reach, being able to make things happen when it's not expected. And I think that needs to be the game plan looking ahead, at least for the first 20 minutes for Empire. From there, though, and you brought this up, like Ember Spirit is kind of a, he's weird, he's different, just like most heroes in Dota are. He is a carry, but he doesn't feel like an ultra late game carry in the sense of like a PA that you brought up, for example. We see late game Embers, at least in D2L play. We have seen them struggle because once you begin to run out of that ganking power, once the other team starts to tank up and starts to be able to just kind of deal with the sleight of fist damage and so on, you can find yourself in a situation where your only option is to build crit and rapier, and suddenly the game becomes a coin flip no matter how well you've done to that point. So that's something that that's always kind of a concern, but looks like there won't be any early action. Empire did invade, and we'll see if they're going to keep these three down here at bottom. They already have one ward down, and they're waiting right here in the pool camp, just hoping someone would drift over. Not going to be the case. EGM is kind of close by. He's going to be, he spotted him. That was a very cautious approach from him, and it saved his life for sure.
I think it's good heads up from Team Tinker, and perhaps it's Bulba, but I feel like they've anticipated this aggressive tri-lane from Team Empire, which is something that most teams wouldn't do. And so Arise is down here bottom. They're trying to dodge it and put the Storm top, who will be farming. Arise, unfortunately, did miss the block pretty badly down here. That's going to be difficult for him because Dire already has a much easier time blocking, and the lane comes up a little bit more favorable to them. And it's going to be actually just a dual lane down here. Okay, I thought it was just going to be maybe if they can get some poles, but nope, they don't have the pole camp. So I'm not sure how this dual lane is going to work out simply because they don't have the poles working for them. EGM is going to be very, very careful. And then top lane, the question is, can they get the kill on the Legion Commander? I don't know that they can, actually. I think they need the Witch Doctor up there. I like the laning at first from Team Tinker, but I'm not so sure anymore.
No, I agree with you. I think they need to roam somewhere. Be it put unexpected pressure on mid, be it roam a third up here, roam the Witch Doctor up here or whatever. I mean, Arise isn't going to be too crippled by this. I mean, the Elder Titan isn't super farm dependent, and EGM can stay out of the way, pre-rune and stuff, give him some room for solo lane, etc. And it is going to be kind of tough to make a kill happen, at least at these early stages. But we can already see at top, Always Want to Fly has rotated forward, so he is going to be up at top getting the pull on. And with the adjustment now, I feel like Team Tinker needs to, it's so hard to be like, well, you should just get a kill in the first 5 minutes. Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea. But even beyond that, there need to be pressuring somewhere, because I think these lanes are going to end up a wash, and I actually think that's going to end up being a fairly big win for Empire, given that Silent's going to be able to freeform this Brew.
Well, it shows you how confident they are in this off lane with just a dual lane, because they're like, we don't even need our third hero here that we anticipated doing a tri-lane versus tri-lane. Right. And they just throw him top. So they're just going to get good farm bottom. They're going to secure pulls and good farm for their AA and their Legion Commander top. They're just going to farm more in laning stages than Team Tinker. And you can already see Zeus doing quite well at 10.
Left from Rubik, which is handy dandy, but they're going to be very reliant on a good performance from Silent to manage these fights with his split and the rock, as well as the storm aspect, being able to lift a hero. He has to play well, otherwise we have pen and paper ready and write those down. Looks like we are back underway, and hopefully that'll be the last pause we happen to have.
Yep, Resolution bottles up the BB, which is not exactly a great room for Zeus, because he's got probably the worst attack animation in the entire game, but nonetheless it's good for him just to be able to regen some more. And Bulba is actually smoked up all by himself, looking for a kill under Resolution. Ember Spirit did pop Flame Guard though, and he doesn't have his Sleight of Fist, so he can't close the gap here. So it might be a wasted smoke. He's going to walk his way back towards top, but Koifa has no pull, so yeah, kind of a little bit of wasted time here, unfortunately, here from Bulba.
Yep, Bulba just now hitting level 2. And are they going to try to dive this? I think they are. Yeah, they recognize Koifa's by himself, at least right now. Bulba hanging out right in the woods, going to go for it. There's going to be the jump onto Always Want to Fly. And yep, not going to be able to follow it. Thought Bulba might be able to catch them in the middle of the dive, as Koifa was by himself, and thought they might have tried to make something happen, but Not going to be the case. At bottom, we do have some action, though. EGM trying to heal through this, and there's going to be the Echo Stomp, and that caught Silent and bought just enough time for EGM to make it away. So Arise going with the 1-1 build very early on, and we'll see how he wants to treat Natural Order after this. But that early value point in Echo Stomp, man, for the longest time, no one took it. Now we're beginning to see why everyone values it.
It's really, really good, and it is a value point, man. Like nothing else. The stomp damage goes up by 10 each level, so leveling it up for damage is, you don't do that at all. It's negligible. The sleep duration does go up by a second for each level, but it starts off at 2, so it goes from 0 to 2, and then increments of 1 after that. So it's it's a value point if you've ever heard of one. It's very, very good. And the mana cost, of course, does go. Nope, it stays static actually at 100. So, yeah, very, very good for them.
I don't think so.
But this is what I'm talking about. The laning phase will be won here by Empire. They have a lot better farmers here. 21, 21, and 18, 19 CS now for the 3 cores, where it's 21, 20, and then 9 for the cores of Team Tinker. But that's to be expected with the way the lane's set up. I still favor Team Tinker in the late stages of the game. They just have to get there and not fumble around the timings of Team Empire.
Exactly, and this is kind of panning out the way we expected it to. I mean, in mid, it's fairly close. I mean, 23 to 25, 23 to 21 in terms of the brew and the storm. But where it's really a big jump up is the comparison of the Legion Commander and the Elder Titan. Legion sitting at 20 CS and Elder Titan just at 11. A lot of that has to do, again, with this war that has just kept this pool camp from being utilized, and Team Tinker has not been able to come too far forward when the creeps have been largely sitting in the area they are right now. This is going to be the quick blink for Silent, and most likely, I mean, he's already got his treads up, and most likely a very quick blink for Yoki as well. His treads are either on the way to him or they're about to be done. Looks like he's going to wait a bit, but yeah, should have treads up shortly as well.
Oh, here comes the go on EGM, actually.
Yep, clap to follow. Trying to heal through it. Doesn't matter. First blood as Resolution shows off the fireworks using the Thunder Guard's Wrath. Out of mid, 1-0. Empire leads.
That was very easy kill too. Like, it wasn't really too strenuous. They did expend a Zeus ultimate out of it, but it's really good for him. I think you had the kill too. Yeah, you did.
He did.
Resolution is going to be very, very happy about that one.
Well, as you always bring up, getting a global kill like that is so much more valuable early on just because it's bonus experience in gold.
Yes. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's like for your Invoker players who have Sunstrike and get the actual kill. Not just helping out and assisting with it, but actually getting the kill is so much more beneficial than just assisting with it beforehand. But, I mean, it's still obviously helpful, but... Yep, so down here bottom, Silent's going to be very, very happy with that. He's going to have his Blink Dagger around the 10, 11 minute mark. He went for the treads here first, and actually TP coming in from Zeus, they want to be more aggressive. And with the split coming up soon, actually don't have it yet, but he still has a ton of damage output here from the Zeus without his ultimate.
This is actually brilliant timing, and they're not going to expect this. They're going to assume Resolution wouldn't want to try to do anything without his ultimate available. Still 15 seconds off. Aloha standing in, gets the lift, Arises dead. Clap to follow. One right click and Resolution makes it 2-0 and 2-0 on him personally on the day. And again, that is just such good timing for him because, you know, it's not as if pro players, wow, he just got a double kill. And yeah, where did he? Yeah, he killed the Zeus. I didn't even see how low he was, but using the ult, now he's 3-0, and this is where Zeus is terrifying. Like, we've seen that if you hold him down, he's not as scary, but he still has good damage. He's not being held down at all. He is way ahead. And now in mid, always want to fly. Finally, Team Tinker finds their way onto the board, make it 1-3, as Sing Sing gets it done under the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, thank God for them that they got that, because he already just TP'd bottom and then ran away right afterwards. So it was a very wasted TP and unfortunately some wasted time. So they desperately needed that, as they're falling quite far behind in lane phase. And that's not even the bad thing for them, is that Empire hasn't even really hit their window. Like, they don't have their blink yet from Legion Commander. They don't have their blink from Panda, and that's when it's going to get really scary and really hard here for Team Tinker. So they need to stop bleeding, and they especially need to be worried about that.
Lift onto a rise. Look at the damage. Had no chance to do anything, and the cask being kited out effectively. And Team Tinker is just absolutely hemorrhaging, bleeding nothing. They're hemorrhaging it, but Sing Sing actually survives a duel. He's going to throw his Rim into the high ground. He's still very low. Yoki follows and gets a kill there as well. And now here comes Koikva trying to make something happen. Sing Sing back in off the buyback. He needs to get a kill on a Yoki, but will not be able to do so as the haste rune will get him to safety. So he buys back and gets a support kill on the Ancient Apparition. I mean, buying back early is usually worth it. What do you think? You think it was worth it that time? Yeah?
Well, yeah, buying back early on, the gold is so negligible. Actually, here comes a split here onto a Rise, who doesn't have that much HP. Here's the heal coming up from EGM. He gets thrown up in the air. Rise might be... Nope, there's the Zeus ulti, and that will secure it.
And EGM likely in some trouble here as well. Gets caught by the rock from behind. Nope, never mind. Oh, he got him with a clap through the woods. Will he die? Hey, ulti's on the way. Not going to matter as he just right-clicks him down. He did get silenced. Yeah, that's much better. By Bulba.
Silenced,
yeah. Hard to track down heroes, but two heroes that usually, I mean, in the case of the Ember Spirit, just rely on Flame Guard to keep himself safe, which will be very effective against predominantly magic damage coming out of Empire for the most part. So that's at least something going for them. But I feel like Koikva really is going to have to overperform this game to get them back to even. He needs to get farmed. He needs to get up items. He needs an Orchid. He needs a BKB. And then he needs to just go ham. If they don't get that out of him, and it's sad that, you know, it's hard to put that on somebody's shoulders, but I think they just need him to have a really, really good game from here on out, because he's really one of the few heroes that, while Sing Sing is farming and trying to get his own damage up, has a chance to at least counterpunch against Empire. And right now they need that desperately.
They really do, but he's just got such a slow start. I don't know how effective he can be against the team fight early on here from Team Empire. And it looks like they want to do something now, though, because here comes the smoke coming out from Bulba and Storm. They're both smoked up, and they both TP'd mid. They can't... Oh, no, Legion Commander is actually picking up the regen rune and then walking top, so that's not going to be a kill. Maybe they can get a kill on the Resolution. Yeah, this should be a kill, actually.
And Resolution seems like he suspects good jump. And the grab. AA ulti all the way. And that will catch Sing Sing. There's a reaction from Aloha, who does manage to catch him. And AA's there. If they get the... Yeah, that is so not worth it for them at all. Giving up Sing Sing in exchange for the Zeus, not even close to being worth it for them. So a gank that looked like it should have been successful, and they just overextend a little bit and end up coming out on the bad end of things.
Well, and the fact that Empire responding with their supports to get a kill, whereas Team Tinker are initiating the fights with a core, I think is the biggest issue. It's not so much like mid player for mid player or mid hero, but the fact that Koikva's not farming at all during this and just wasting his time trying to get not the biggest kill in the world, so it's not like a double kill for him or something like that. And yeah, so he's going to continue to have a very slow start here. And honestly, at this point, I don't even know if you rush an Orchids. Like, I've seen a lot of times Storm Spirits, they're having a very slow start. You just go for something like a Bloodstone and just try to farm up and have a higher base mana pool. Although Orchids does seem like the quintessential item for not only Storm in general, but this game against a Panda. But we'll have to see how slow his start here continues to be.
Yep, Silent has his Blink Dagger done as soon as he wants to buy it. He could sell a magic stick and pick it up right now if he felt like it, and yep, that's exactly what he'll do. And the Legion Commander is about 300 gold off of hers, so things are going to go from bad to worse for Team Tinker very quickly. If you're in the captain's chair, if you're in Bulba's shoes right now, Trout, like, what's the game plan from now until, say, 25 minutes? Like, what is the general, what do you want to accomplish, and what do you want to keep Empire from accomplishing?
Well, I would say the supports need to get more active here. And I would say, yeah, aggressive smokes, trying small pickoffs and backing off immediately. Oh, Sing Sing actually missed his Sleight of Fist. But there's the actually ult into Bolus combo, so he does get that. And it's kills like that right there. And then go heal up. Make sure you're not getting caught off guard with, like, okay, we get this kill and then Panda gets a kill elsewhere. It needs to be one kill, back off, rinse, repeat when the cooldowns are up again.
That time, that particular kill, I think, was just Aloha being a little too aggressive. I mean, he spotted Bulba. Bulba got there, denied the double damage rune, and he decided to go for a lift and do some damage, but probably should have assumed that there was going to be at least something. Rise has been under siege down here in bottom, by the way. Now Silent gonna split. He's trapped. Easiest kill of his life. Maybe a waste of an ult, but really I don't think so. As they're now going to be able to press that bottom tower. It looks like they're showing two in mid, EGM and Sing Sing, who want to try to run in this mid lane. And this bottom tower, still at about 3/4 health, will take some time to whittle down. But I think Tinker right now is just scared to come to fights for the reasons we've been outlining. It just with all the ults. What do they have? Look at that. The amount of burst they have is enough to kill a Storm Spirit who is fairly well farmed on just one lift from Ruby. Like, that is ridiculous.
Ailed coming mid as well, or maybe all the way top, actually. Yeah, they suspect Bulba was there. Bulba backs
Radiant's
up.
bottom tower is under
Can't
attack.
really do too much anyway. But his ulti is up, so yeah, I don't know. The laning stage just went so well for Empire, as we expected it to, but honestly, I didn't expect it to go that well. I don't know why Witch Doctor was bottom. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think that
Radiant
even if Elder Titan was going to have a harder time without the Witch Doctor, I actually don't think he would. I think he actually would have had an easier time without the Witch Doctor because he would have gotten solo levels and he wouldn't have played up as much as he did, just because he wouldn't have expected that help and have that mental safeguard with the support hero behind him.
Well, they do manage to get the deny on the tier 1 bottoms, so little victories, I suppose. Taking a look at the net worth chart, top 3 all belong to Empire. Granted, it isn't by the largest margin, but unless it's heat up, this is going to be a nice cold as Aloha drops once again. But the kills they're getting are basically on the level with supports. They're going to see a rise once again in trouble. There's a duel, so Yoki's going to grab 10 damage out of that as well. And yeah, it just seems like Tinker is trading where they can. Obviously not trading as well, as they're being nearly doubled up in kills by Empire, 11-6 now. But even hate to see it, man, especially a game in which they're doing so well. But anyway, we are back underway, at least for the moment. And if you're just tuning in, this is game number 1 of our leadoff best of 3, round 1 of our Bubble Race Western Playoffs. Winner of this advances to play Snog, who actually performed quite well in the regular season of D2L, earned themselves a number 3 seed. And they await the winner of this, and then the winner of that match tomorrow will be playing a best of 5 against VP Polar for the chance to join CDEC LV and EG in Sin City. 4-man smoke coming out of Empire. They're going to walk right near a sentry, but unfortunately for Koikba, no other vision there, and that's going to be his 3rd death of the game now. So Empire just continuing to make it work for them. Resolution expended his ulti just to guarantee the kill, but really didn't even need it. And Koikba, as we were talking about, really is he's the one who has to try to counterpunch, and with him dying twice now in what, 3-4 minutes, looking less and less likely he's going to have any chance to get his marks up.
They killed him so fast, Yoki wound up to the ultimate and couldn't even get the dual damage.
Yeah,
that's how fast he's dying here. And yeah, I don't know what impacts, like, especially when they start pushing your buildings too. Like, Storm is a terrible counter pusher. He has nothing to do with that. The only thing he can do is if he's strong enough to come in around from the back and get a solo pickoff, and then maybe zip around after that and just evade the fight that way. But he doesn't have the farm to do that, or the mana pool to sustain his running around that liberally. So he's gonna have, like, yeah, Elder Titan's 0-5-0, and it's a terrible score for him. But honestly, the Storm Spirit being this far behind is even worse for him. Does have his first Oblivion staff, so it is going to be the Orchid's Rush. Not really a rush here, but he's going to try for it. As a blink comes out quickly from Yoki right before the Elder Spirit hits him. Or the Spirit, what's it actually called? The Astral Spirit. Yeah. So, yeah. Nice job from Yoki
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We can see Empire recognizing their position, knowing they should just keep the pressure up, and they're going to. They are running literally between Tier 1 and Tier 2 now, just trying to funnel Team Tinker all together. And Koikba is getting some room to breathe down at bottom, like you said, with the Oblivion staff, so he will be wanting an Orchid. I was halfway wondering if he would want a BKB before Orchid, even if he wanted to go with the standard build, if he just wanted to flip the items and play a bit more defensive. But I think they need the kill potential out of him. They need someone who's going to be able to get something done. And for now, it's just on Empire to continue to build on the lead they already have, which, you know, while considerable, is not continuing to grow. It's right about 5K, and the experience has actually been cut down in favor of Team Tinker, so even though they are in danger of losing momentum in a big way, at the moment, they're at least holding serve.
Yeah, Empire is running around a little bit clumped up, and so as a result, Team Tinker is kind of slowly trickling back in with experience, and They're getting some good form when they're not dying, I'll say that. Like Koikva, he's up almost to his second Oblivion staff, and it's looking like a 20-minute Orchids, which is actually not too bad considering he's died 3 times and only has 1 kill. So that's not too bad for him. He's going to pick up a rune here on the bottom side. It's only a bounty. Rune top is actually an invis bottled up by Yoki. He activates it.
Back. Hopefully we'll be resuming. Go now. Says G. And go Dota. We actually do get to play, or watch, in our case, some Dota. And let's see how Empire wants to continue to execute. The Rise, a little late. Just now has 1 point into
Radiant's top tower is
his
under attack.
So hang on, that's wonderful. 310 damage and food to Yoki, and he gave up Cask as well, so good steal from Aloha.
That's a really good steal. Huh. That's one of the better steals or spells to steal. It's level 4 too, so it has it fully maxed, which is very, very nice for him. Blade Mail was completed by the Legion Commander 2. He's up to 24 damage. And that's only, I believe that was with a level 1 duel? It could have been level 2. Actually, let's see. No, it had to be level 2 because 10 plus 14 would be 24. Alright, action bottom. Koikva wasting through a little bit of mana. And actually, Silent, he does get the hit onto him. Koikva's going to zip and TP away though, so he'll be fine for the time being. Has enough almost for a second Oblivion staff, but it is going to be a very late Orchids.
And it was actually fairly well done on both sides. Silent and Koikva in that little exchange on there. Koikva actually really played well in just kiting him out and not allowing him to get the split off. Sing Sing's dead again. I mean, these heroes are dying so quickly that it's so hard to even get the camera there in time to see it. And again, they're just losing their cores way too much. I mean, Sing, again, he's tallied 4 kills, which is nice, but he's given up 3 deaths on his own. And then you take a look at the rest of the team. I mean, he and Koikva are a collective 5 and 6. You cannot have that out of those 2 heroes.
Did you see it from start to finish? Like, how did he die? I saw a lift was on cooldown and the Ember Spirit gave up the Flame Guard to the Rubik, but I didn't see the initiation of it. Was it just the supports around? Because I didn't see Panda there.
No, Panda was there.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, he was there, and then the Ancient Apparition was there, too.
Okay, okay.
But regardless, the game continues to roll on, and there's a split on EGM in mid. So he's dead. 15-6, and Empire continuing to pile it on so long as they can keep their Thunder God connected to the game. Koikva is continuing to farm as best he can, but it is beginning to reach that point where it feels like, even if he gets his Orchid up now, it feels like it's going to be too little too late. And Empire, I think, they can back off, wait 90 seconds, let Split come off cooldown, let Thunder God's Wrath come off cooldown, and then just go.
Is under attack.
Yeah, this is kind of why I said, like, sometimes when you're just so far behind on Storm, it's almost better to get just the Bloodstone rushed instead of an Orchids, because if your team altogether as a whole is, like, very, very behind and very...
As they're at 7,500 gold advantage, and yep, well, very quick reconnect that time. At least if we can keep the pauses short, maybe we'll get this game played for realsies. And one more time, just a reminder that everyone listening right now is going to have a chance to win 2-3 chests, courtesy of Dota 2 Lounge. I'll be reading off 10 different codes, so get your pen and paper ready, and those can be redeemed. Make sure you're logged in at Dota 2 Lounge. And go to Dota2Lounge.com/giveaway. And I'll also be tweeting them as well, Trout, and as well the D2L Twitter. So make sure you follow all of those as well for as many chances to win as is possible. And yeah, it looks like Empire now taking away Team Tinker's jungle and just continuing to funnel Team Tinker fairly effectively.
It looks like actually Zeus might be going for a Bloodstone himself. I saw him just pick up a Soul Ring that he has, yeah, and the Bloodstone recipe. I am not a fan of this build. I honestly don't see the point of it because it gives you 100 more mana than an Axe. You don't get any extra damage. I don't even think you really need the extra mana regeneration because when you usually go for an Axe and all these kind of mana intensive items, you have such a mana pool that you don't even need that much mana regen. But anyway, we'll hold that thought.
Nope, hold up. Super dead. There's 1 down. Make it 2 as EGM's next on the list. Sing Sing just going to try to TP away. And we'll be able to make it away safely. Koikva coming into the back of this group of bogeys as he's going to jump right on Always Want to Fly. Let's get a kill with this newly completed Orchid, and will do so. So getting at least something out of it. So they end up going 2 supports for 1, so not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, and actually still, the net worth isn't that crazy for these heroes. Like, Ember Spirit and Earth Spirit. Ember Spirit and Storm Spirit are not that far behind. They're pretty much neck and neck with these top farmers of Team Empire. And while the Elder Titan is very, very far behind, his base defense is still there, and he does have a Yules. So,
yep, Silent got way out front. And if he dies here, no good for Staff. And he's going to go and split. Try to turn this around and Rise. Lifted and brought in, but looks like, yeah, no, he's actually going to be caught from behind. Now the duel on the EGM. Earth Splitter goes off, but it just doesn't matter. As now they finish up one more. They lose Aloha, but Koikva likely to come down into some trouble. Apparition ulti's on the way. Does manage to jump to the safety of his team. Doesn't matter. Silent and Yoki there to make it a 4 for 1. And are they going to get Sing Sing as well? Sing Sing came into the back of the fight. Don't think they really have a chance to pursue him out.
Top tower
but this is beginning to look very ugly for Team Tinker. And it looked like it was just way over aggressive out of
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Silence Brewmaster there that started all of that. But then, you know, he got over aggressive, but then they over pursued him back towards their own tier 1. And from that point on, after the Brewmaster split, following a very nice 4-staff save from Resolution, this give up even more. And yeah, the gold graph, like you said, it's still, it's manageable, but it's about to hit that point of critical mass.
well, yeah, that was before that fight.
Exactly.
I don't know if you saw that, but the Rubik actually stole the Earth Splitter from Elder Titan, and he got a double kill with it. Like, oh, that's got to be such a satisfying feeling. If you're a Rubik player getting a big steal like that. It also makes such a nice sound. You know what I'm talking about? Like, doom, like just a big sound.
So visceral.
Yeah,
so
when you
visceral.
get that actual kill with it, it feels pretty damn good. BKB finished for the Panda, which is very, very good for him, because even if they initiate now with an Orchids, he can just nullify that. So now your Orchids feels very useless if you're Koikva, because you're like, oh, now I can Orchids maybe a support to kill them, but I don't even think you need an Orchids to kill them if you're in the right position. So we'll have to wait and see. And Return does pick up his battle period, which is not too bad. Not too bad timing, all things considered, but yeah, these fights are just easily going the way of Empire at this point. With the Midas up on the Ancient Apparition level 11, he's going to have an act pretty soon himself.
Team Tinker trying to push top, a very typical trade at this stage of the game. Team that's behind tries to push to tier 2, while team that's ahead takes it for Roshan. They're going to be able to defend this easily, though. And yeah, Tinker even knows it. They rotated forward up that way, but just realizing, nope, we're not pushing quickly enough. This is not a fight we can take. And Rise missed by the Ice Blast, but with that, Aegis, and it was picked up and put onto Yoki, as one would imagine. Again, they can farm with it if they want to, but I don't think they need to. I think they can just run down mid and potentially begin to think about high ground.
Yeah, and Yoki is very close to a BKB if that's what he wants to go for, too. And I think that would be the most appropriate build, considering, too, that they're up against so much magic damage and their Orchids from Storm.
Yeah, like you said, that Orchid's really not feeling all that worth it at all now. I mean, the Brew is the primary target you would want to jump on. I mean, Brew or Zeus, I guess, but Zeus can just play so far back that you'd have to jump through an entire team, and there's no way the rest of your team can follow through it, and you can do some damage, but chances are you're going to get your teammates killed or get yourself killed just trying to take out a Zeus who could then buy back an ult anyway.
Yeah.
And there's a jump, and they actually do a do-si-do. Silent being kited out and toyed with a little bit there by Koikva, but still no follow-up at all. But Yoki and Aloha now making their way towards mid, look to make something happen. Do have a 2-man smoke out of Sing and Bulba as they're going to head along the ridge line. Yoki went ahead and deployed his blade mail a little bit early, still trying to catch up with EG. There's the lift, and Yoki there, woken the duel off, free 10 damage. He's up to plus 66 overall now. Yep. No, he actually manages to buy himself, and that's going to be some prizes for our viewers. Using that Bloodstone, and seeing Bulba and Rise might get caught from behind here. Yoki has a blink in 5 seconds. Sing Sing has almost no mana, and they're going to have to figure out how they want to approach this. Blink back on cooldown. They're trying to just keep the blink on cooldown. And the Echo Stomp, not going to be enough. Rise dead again. And Yoki, another 10, 15 seconds or so would have had more damage, but I'm sure they'll be happy to take the kill.
I'm interested to see why he picked up a level 4 stomp too. He's 0-7-0. Hasn't contributed into one fight with damage at all, or one kill with damage. That's how it ends up being. 8 charges on the urn here for the Rubik. He picked up the level 4 Echo Stomp, which is very interesting. I was going to mention one thing. Oh yeah, the reason why the Zeus died.
Got a split. And Sing Sing's there. This is way over aggressive from Silent. He does have help coming. It's going to be a resolution. Will he use the ulti? Hung on to it. Actually, it's on cooldown. Thought it was going to be off cooldown by now. But at the very least, they are managing to keep them busy. And here comes the rest of Empire ready to collapse down here. And this is a fight that Team Tinker should have a chance to win if they do decide to force it. 90 seconds on the ulti, and they got nothing out of it. Aegis still has another 2 minutes on it, give or take. But yeah, Tinker, I think, is just going to abandon this. If they said, yeah, with resolution in lane like this, they may suspect that the jungle's full of hostiles. And we'll see how Empire wants to play it.
Well, they have a lot of gold pulled up on the Legion Commander, that's for sure. Oh wait, he just bought something.
Radiant's
it's probably a
bottom tower
BKB.
is under attack.
Oh, it's an AC. He's going to go for an Assault Cuirass, which is totally fine, by the way, because he had Aegis and he had the money for it this early on. So he's going to be like a truck. Yeah, the reason why the Zeus died up there is actually using the ultimate,
Radiant's
but because the 2
bottom
heroes
tower
were
has
smoked
fallen.
under him, he couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So if he didn't actually do some counting, like, wait, 1, 2, 3, I only see 3 heroes on the map. Oh, crap, they're smoked. But sometimes you just don't even look at that. You just say, oh, there's nobody under me, so I'm fine. Only reason why he died, but he did get the denial off, so it's not even that big of a deal.
And taking a look, yeah. Critical mass definitely has been hit. And glad to see it. The bed resolution seems to be no problem staying connected to the game. Gonna add some more burst. And it makes the, this is, I love this kind of an approach to heroes like the Storm and the Ember. You go, well, we don't have a lot of ways to lock them down, so what ways we do have, we need to make sure we throw out the damage. So just build dagger. Just play to your strengths. Don't try to get too cute by rushing a Hex or something like that. You've got the damage. Just go ahead and get more damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, I think Empire's obviously a fantastic position. Zeus can really build anything he wants. They can really all build anything they want at this point. They just have the potential and the means to kill off the Storm Spirit, I'm sure. That's the big thing. Is that when we looked at this draft, it's like if they don't have a fast blink on the Legion Commander or a very good start with this Rubik, they're just going to have difficult ways of actually keeping the Storm Spirit and Ember Spirit locked down. Well, that hasn't been the case, and that's the key to shutting down this lineup here from Team Tinker.
Aegis reclaimed, 4.5 minutes, give or take, until Roshan is back up. And taking a look at the item progression of Team Tinker, I think the notable thing is there's been very little of Bulba sitting on basically the same items he's had all game. He's finally picks himself up a Midas. Catch up, Midas. Hard to catch up whenever you're caught out. As Bulba ends up biffing it, Arise and Sing Sing might be able to make it away here. Yeah, as Silent did not deploy his ulti. Could have, but instead wanting to save it for a high round, and I think that's going to be the order of the day. Resolution out in the other lane right now. Might get jumped by Koikfa, though. And, yep, Koikfa suspecting. Yep, there it is. Knows where he is, and now he's going to spot it. Pinged out, and yeah, Resolution immediately seeing it. Decides to go ahead and turn tail, but now Koikfa continuing to hang, has a TP. There is a rotation coming from Yoki. And Resolution going to run right into him. And, yep, now he's just going to jump as far as he can and TP away, which is the right call to make. And Resolution may be tipping their plan a little bit too quickly there. In the meantime, at top, Silent and Aloha are trying to rotate up to catch one, but unable to do so before HVP down. So, at the very least, Tinker is dodging these kills now.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can make it to high ground defense with all 5 heroes. I fear that they're not even going to have all 5 heroes when they do this because of the pick-off potential of Empire is just so large with the Zeus ult up and just, Yoki's extra damage with the Assault Cuirass this early on. Yep. It's crazy to see. And then the Panda being 8-0 and 7. Who's working towards what looks to be, what is it, it's a Shiva's, probably, with the go with Vladimir's offering.
Yeah, I think so. Will make the most sense anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he could go Hex if he really wanted to, and just have one way to walk them down. Like you said, like we literally just said, I don't think that's necessary. I think you've got enough burst and enough survivability that you you can just rely on damage to get your lockdown for the most part. And even Always Wanna Fly is now getting very close to his scepter. About 1,500 gold and he'll have it.
Well, the Storm Spirit was evading for about a minute bottom from the Zeus. Now went top and just bursted through all of his mana and then TP'd away, so he hasn't farmed anything for the last 2.5 minutes, which is unfortunate. But Ember Spirit, what's he got? Battle Fury Crystallis. And Bulba dies again. I missed that one, but that's just Zeus being Zeus with his Dagon 2 now.
Yep. Just ran upon him and made him pay. And Silent just face taking the tower because he can. This will be the last out of 2 tower. And now high ground. And, well, with 30 seconds until Roche responds, they may decide to. They may decide to wait a bit and just take a Roshan before going. No, they're gonna go. They are ready to roll. Team Tinker now under siege. This is our first game of this series. Koikva tried to jump on the Brewmaster. There's a nice 2-man searing chase that doesn't care about damage, but earn charges still left over. Uses one on himself and has another to heal a teammate. And yeah, if they're going to TP, I think this is the right call. Just wait out a Roshan.
I think that was like a good opening for Team Tinker. That was a double chains on 2 heroes with a spirit on them, but Arise chose not to use the stomp onto him. I think he could have stomped and made an Earth Splitter and maybe got something out of that. I think that was a very good opening. Unfortunately, they didn't bite, or Arise didn't bite, and he went for a Midas, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Midas here for the Elder Titan. Very interesting. But has maybe decided that if they do win this, it's going to go late. And this is the only opening. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, Midas here for him. Koikva, he's going towards what looks to be a sheep stick. And it is going to be a sheep stick, actually, for the Panther. I thought it was for sure going to be a Shiva's.
Yeah, and I mean, it certainly makes sense. I mean, when you're dealing with 2 heroes that are notoriously hard to keep locked down in the 2 spirits, the Ember and the Storm, that's fine. I don't think he necessarily had to do this, but you know, it's like we talked about though. Like if there was any right clicker, like if you had a Storm and Ember and then any right clicker at all, I think Shiva's makes more sense. It gives you more damage, and you know, the slow and whatever. But like we talked about, the Ember's not really a traditional right clicker, and Koikva has his Lincolns popped, and now he's going to be followed up. The AMT will miss him, and he's about half mana. He's going to get critted. Now he's going to turn it around if he's got help. EGM looking to come that way. BKB deployed, and he's out of mana, and he's going to be blinked on. He's going to die. He could have easily run away and decided to turn and try to get cute. Don't know if it was a miscommunication. EGM was waiting behind him, but yeah, things did not go well. And now he's down for 60 seconds. Down at bottom, looks like they were trying to pursue somebody out, but believe this one is reaching its final moments. Nearly 20k gold lead for Empire right now, and just about that is Aloha once again caught out by himself.
Bones will make a fine powder.
Yep. Couldn't get the kill on the Sing Sing either, but you cannot kill this Panda. I don't know other ways to actually get the Panda kill unless he's very, very cocky, and it's right after he comes out of a split, because you're not killing him through a split. He has BKB, so he will always get that off. He's very, very tanky now, has a sheep stick on top of that. And one thing to think about too is, I was talking to someone about this, that Storm Spirit against heroes that have lots of overload procs with your auto attacks, that's where the majority of your damage is coming out from. But if you're missing those attacks, you don't have damage. And we actually do have a pause here coming out. It's going to be 4v5. Something tells me it doesn't really matter that much, but it's still annoying nonetheless.
Yeah, Empire going to go right on into the Roche pit. And like you said, they should feel fairly confident that they've built enough lead that this is not going to be the world. However, items are beginning to make appearances now for Tinker, as the Daedalus has been finished by Sing Sing, so his damage output is considerable. And there's a Scepter up on EGM as well. But there's also an Aegis now in the hands of Yoki. And Yoki has stolen 66 damage, is hitting for 250, and is quite beastly, to put it mildly, with that Sulfur. So with a little bit of micro, they should be able to use resolution pretty well. And it looks like it's I think it's Always Wanna Fly that's actually controlling him right now. Him or Aloha, obviously.
Yeah, honestly, oh, actually, it looks like a possible courier snipe here from Koikva. Nope, they're not going to get it. But this is actually great because usually AA wants to be away from the fights anyway, so you can get a larger radius of your ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps reconnecting anyway, so it might not matter. But if they were using him and microing him, it's actually a perfect combination of Zeus and the Ancient Apparition,
Dire's structures are fortified.
Silent almost got into hex range there, but quick, but a little
attack.
too quick on the trigger. Up at top, Sing Sing, not so fortunate. The follow-up's not there, though. Drew does get the deny on the tower, even though Sing Sing is able to remnant back to safety. He did manage to get hit by the AA ulti, and that is a Scepter AA ulti, but don't think it's going to matter. He's got plenty of health, and the Flame Guard, of course.
If they had the Legion Commander in range, they definitely would have killed him, though, but... Yep. Ancient Apparition closing in on his level 16. That's going to be fantastic, but of course the Axe is there, so it's going to be a 17-second duration of the Frostbitten, which is amazing. It's the whole reason why you get it. It's pretty much just for the the duration, not so much the damage or anything like that. But I will say Ember Spirit does have some decent farm. Like, he's got a Daedalus. They haven't broken high ground yet, necessarily. They've put a little bit of damage under the tier 3 up top. But that's about it, so they still have that fantastic base defense. I'm telling you, man, Elder Titan, Astral with the Aura, and this Ember Spirit is quite strong.
Arise barely able to make it away, but does nonetheless make it away. Bruce going to boss in, and now you can go and work on the tier 3. The Ember trying to do what he can, but this is probably make or break for them now. Like you said, their item development, their overall net worth is not horrendously far behind for the most part. Really, a lot of that gap is a big gap. A lot of it's Bulba, and a lot of it's others as well.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Right now they're giving up racks for free, and
Radiant's top barracks
Yoki happy to just be the one who sits out front. And here comes Sing Sing trying to do what he can. Echo Storm caught silent. And they're just going to go ahead and sacrifice the Aegis on Yoki. Wait for him to come back up and look to make something happen off of that. And Searing Chain's caught nothing but creeps. And Empire right back in. EGM got Hex. They're going to blink on top of it. He's got his ulti if he wants it. Doesn't look like they need it. They don't. As behind that, Quick but tried to engage on Always Wanna Fly. He's now out of mana. Link gets his pop. Aloha. And Yoki combining to bring him down. And Silent does get caught by another Echo Stomp. They may be able to get a return killer. Nope. They're going to split it. Arise. And Sing Sing in trouble. Sing's going to end up dropping. Arise has to make a run for the fountain. That's going to be a 3-for-1 all told. And very likely a GG.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen... Oh, here comes Ember Spirit back again with the buyback. I haven't been able to see them use this Elder Titan and Astral Spirit with the... Like, he keeps using the Searing Chains and the Sleight of Fist without the Ember Spirit Aura there. Or the Earth Spirit... Look out, I cannot say his name. Elder Titan there. Sing Sing taking a lot of damage. This will be a dieback. Probably the game if he dies. He does get the remnant back. Unfortunately,
That Echo
very, very
Stomp
close.
so clutch. The Echo Stomp's will save him. Yeah, there's a nice ulti out of EGM. Nice play from him. And Empire overstaying their welcome a smidge. Ends up feeding a few back. So Tinker loses racks, loses another tier 3 in mid, but they're going to go down swinging at the very least. And the Zeus picks up his level 5 Dagon. So Resolution is locked and loaded, to say it mildly. But, you know, as nice as it is to get a couple of kills on the way out the door, don't know that they're going to be able to have anywhere near the firepower they need to slow Empire down now.
I don't think I saw one Sleight of Fist happen with the Astral Spirit, though. And that's the whole combo, is getting the natural order onto them. And I kept seeing it come afterwards or beforehand. And the damage output was still not too bad from Ember Spirit, but imagine it would be so much better if they just had the natural order debuff onto them. Because while they do have the Assault Cuirass, which is great, they don't have a Vlad. Oh no, they do have a Vlad's. Never mind. Oh, I heard a BKB somewhere. Looking around. Oh, it was the Legion Commander.
Ah. Fatfinger? Must have been.
Probably, yeah.
Whoa, what I missed?
Jump right on top of him. And there's some Lincoln's popped. And Yoki, tried to get on top of him. Could not get the duel off in time. Had help from Aloha as well. That might have been a kill. And Resolution's shambling husk of a hero is down at bottom. They're going to rotate one down. This could be a kill onto Sing Sing if the initiation is proper out of Silent. And they move in, but nope. Sing is pretty fast-fingered and immediately remnants.
And here comes maybe a push bottom, although the Roshan won't be up for quite some time. Tons of gold here pulled up on Legion Commander. Despite him not having the highest amount of dual damage I've seen in a 43-minute game, I don't think it matters. At 4, 0, and 8 for him, he is doing fantastically.
Update you. 84 damage gained overall, which means he's hitting hard. He hasn't had to build a single purely damage-based item. This is largely built hybrid defensive items so far, except for the BKB. But yeah, I think they're just going to run down mid with everything off cooldown now, and Tinker maybe has one more fight left in him. Let's see if maybe they can get a good initiate and buy time, but barring that, pretty sure this one's over. Up behind that, we can actually see Always Want to Fly was jumped on by Quickfa coming out of the woods, and he's just going to TP away, and that's fine for him. He'll sit back, regen, and BKB from Yoki as he continues to chop down the mid set of racks, and down it goes.
He is all business today.
And there's the ulti EGM caught by Silent. There's a tagging on the bull, but he does manage to survive, but only just barely. And he is being pursued out behind that quick, but then reinitiate on a resolution. That plus an Earth Splitter gets a kill. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, and we can see resolution was disconnected there, so easy to see why that took place. They may be able to... let's see, the Brew's going to reassemble. How much damage does he have? Aloha's there to try to help him. Vortex bought some time, and Quickly trying to kite this out. Silence very low. Aloha and Yoki coming back in, though. And Aloha will end up dead as he made it down to the low ground. And now Yoki being pursued out. And he's just going to turn and do it. Yep. Gets the kill on Yoki. So, 17-31, and once again, Empire getting the work done on the buildings, but giving up quite a bit on the way out the door.
Oh, it could be... Bobo almost walked... Oh, he actually got hit by the debuff, but if he got hit by the actual ultimate from AA, I'm pretty sure he dies there. Very, very close. He force-stabbed himself into that. But yeah, Resolution did die. Of course, he is being microed right now. Probably had something to do with it, but they did get what they came for, which was the racks a bit. And I don't think that Empire are too displeased about that. I think they're just fine.
Roshan will be respawning in just a few seconds. So they'll be able to take another Aegis if they want, but I mean, taking a look at Sing Sing, does he have another item on the way to him? No. There's a Hex Done on Arise, and really would have expected Sing Sing to have a little bit more loose change on it right now. But Battle Fury BKB, Betas, and 1200 is certainly nothing to shake a stick at. But I don't know. I mean, Tinker, even though they've lost their racks, they are beginning to make a little bit of a dent into the golden experience. I can't imagine them, and no matter what they do, I don't think they're ever going to be able to survive an overall push from Empire. Even with Resolution out, I don't think it's going to matter.
Yep, TP coming out from... Oh, Sing Sing actually... Oh no, that was Brown's TP, never mind. Sometimes brown and orange look so much alike to me on the mini-map. It's hard for me to distinguish.
Right.
But, yeah. Sing Sing, what does he got for... He's actually got a BKB now, which is going to help him get away from the stuns and whatnot, but the duel is still there and very effective. Mjolnir coming out for Legion Commander, which is fantastic. Roshan coming up, and DD was actually replaced here by a Bounty Run, unfortunately, but I don't think it matters too much.
They'll take this uncontested, I do believe. And now with Empire moving in. Or Silent, excuse me, moving in. Much quicker. And another Aegis plus Cheese. This time the Cheese goes to Silent. And yeah, they're just going to, I mean, why wouldn't you? Just go straight to bottom lane and try to make something happen. Quickfa was hiding out, but TP'd back. And they're just going to need a miracle. They need a miracle initiation. They need, like you said before, another nice two-man Searing Chains with a Echo Stomp to follow. Potential for that was there when they were defending top and they didn't follow through. And if they want to have any chance at all, they're going to have to do something along those lines this time.
Well, they're going to stomp off on the one, but it's just not enough. They really need that spirit there when he's using the Sleight of Fist. They need to push these lanes out. If Empire really want to take this slowly, they'll just wait and wait for the lanes to be pushed out in mid, both top. But they haven't really done that themselves yet, so they have to just wait naturally, which would take some time. But yeah, I think that they're still just in a fantastic position. We'll have to wait and see how much damage Sing Sing can actually do with this Astral Spirit and Natural Order onto them. And they were smoked up, actually. Silent broke his smoke, and they know that he's available and right there. And Koikfa will zip out, actually.
Loha will find him. Was in the process of lifting, but Koikfa a little too fast. And for the most part, Tinker is kiting this out well. I mean, there's no denying it. But hard to tell how much is simply delaying the inevitable as opposed to actually extending the game in a meaningful way. But at least for now, Empire is not throwing them.
Yeah, but if they do want to initiate onto lift, he has the stealth steal and then cast the lift right afterwards, or use the Fade Bolt first, just to proc the Lincolns. But Empire taking it slow and meticulous. But I do think that this is going to be inevitable for Team Tinker, as they're just way too far behind. Storm Spirit, as I mentioned, we saw last time before they pushed the mid-racks, he actually tried to come in from the backside to get a kill with the one support solo. And this is what I talked about. He's just not a very good base defender. He has to try to get pick-offs from the backside, but he just couldn't even do that.
Here we go. Could be the last fight of the game. As Tinker down to their last racks. There's a Searing Chains on the Silent. Has the BKB ready. Echo Stomps there. They're doing as much damage as they can. And he's still holding on to that BKB. They will deploy the Glyph finally. And Yoki goes right back in. Tier 3's down. And here comes Koikfa trying to make something happen. Jumps into Resolution, but will be lifted. Mid-Hex. Little overlap there. Not going to matter. The burst damage too high. Yoki gets a kill of his own. Adds to his damage total. Those two heroes down. Let's take a look at the buyback status. None for Koikfa, and that's going to be that. As Megas will be out now. Silent going to chase him all the way back to the fountain. And the Super Mega Creeps are out, and there's going to be the GG. So, Team Tinker, who snuck into the playoffs, came out really with their last couple of matches. And even having a little bit of an advantage in terms of resolution, not being all that consistent, even staying connected to the game, finds themselves now one loss away from elimination here in the Western playoffs of D2L Season 5. Empire, obviously the corollary.